VISKOU.
So our today's workshop topics will be on Reyee products overview, which is the wireless bridge. So from this name, we call it a wireless bridge. Then we can know that actually this is like a wireless linkage between 2 points. So normally we'll use wireless bridge when there's a complex environment that we can't do cabling, some place like constructions, or maybe some place that already renovate, or else because in our CCTV context, so maybe sometimes we want to do some CCTV cameras, which deploy some CCTV cameras which is at a long distance, maybe at like a roadside highway or some point to point when there's remote area. So that's why we need wireless bridge. So there are some of the application scenarios. Some place like for CCTV, maybe like elevator. So we know that elevator be able to deploy the wireless bridge as well. Because in traditional way, you might need to lay the cables following the elevator, so you might need a very long distance of cables because we want to have like in a drum, so we like moving with the elevators. Okay, so now we can deploy the wireless bridge to replace the cabling. So it's very easy. The next will be tower crane. I think Singapore quite commonly we use in tower crane because Singapore many places for constructions. They're building a HDB, they're building condo. They will have this tower crane. So they will install a PDZ on the tower crane. Then how do we pass back the transmission? So that's why we need a wireless bridge. The wireless bridge will pass back the transmission, the data back to their office, their site office. So next will be like scenic area, or just now I mentioned about transportation. So during like in the highways, or some campus, factory campus, so they maybe don't have internet access in multiples of the buildings, so they pass from one building to another building using a wireless bridge. So for the WISP, it means that provide the internet endpoint, because some of the countries, maybe not in Singapore, some of the countries that live in like rural area, so their internet coverage will be very lousy. It's mostly poor. So the land are big, so the houses are scattered around. So the internet service provider ISP will not be able to like cover all the home. So that's why we use this wireless bridge. So we have this 1 kilometer wireless bridge, which is an EST310. For this EST310, this is our wireless bridge. So here are some of the spec. So these are using a 5 GHz. So 5 GHz has less interference compared to others. So we have a 60 and 30 degrees for the coverage, and this is able to withstand under around 30 degrees to 50 degrees. So in Singapore, it's actually quite suitable for this temperature range. And also this is the IP65. It's able to use at the outdoors. And then we have this 100 Mbps port. For this model, it's a 100 Mbps port, and it's able to have a stable 1 km without shouters. So as I said just now, it's able to deploy in outdoors, and also it has a 4 kV surge protection. You know that all of these devices are able to have a lifetime free clock management. So here are some of the hardware specifications you have. So either you can just power up using a 12V DC, or you can just use a PoE injector to power it up. Okay, so the PoE injector is included. Besides here, you got an indicator, so easy for you guys to measure whether the signal strength is good. So as long as it's a strong, you have all full bar signal. Just now we talk about the elevators. Sometimes you know that elevators is not easy to install. It's because you want to have the cables. Just now, as I said, we need to pull a very long cables following the elevators. Following the car, we can say it's a lift car. So that it's able to link them. Because the lift car will go up and down, so you need to have a very long cables, and it's not easy to install. And cables able to break because due to wear and tear for a long time with the usage. So if for maintenance, it will quite waste some time to do some maintenance on this. This is the 10 point, so that's why we can use the wireless bridge. So let's say you see on the left hand side, this is the deploy way. So either you can, because you can see this is the lift car. So either you can install below the lift car, and then one is at maybe at the bottom. It's a fixed. So this will follow the lift car. This one, and then we have this fixed at the bottom. So from here, this is a wireless, and then from this one, we can just link back to our monitoring centers. Okay, so this is the first deploy way. So for the second, maybe it's like this. So maybe second, you can just deploy the wireless bridge at the top of the lift car. So it's holding up the top of the lift car, and then the other end will be installed at the fixed area, at the fixed on the top. Our wireless bridge is come in pairs. It's come in pairs, so you can know that it's like one is a receiver, another is a transmitter. So these are the highlight features. So maybe some of the features I already mentioned just now. We have this 5 GHz because this is anti-interference, and then we have this automatic channel optimization. So it will auto to scan around what is the signal, Wi-Fi signal like around the wireless bridge. Then it will auto adjust which is the best channel to avoid the interference. And then this is a zero touch provisioning. What do I mean by this? Because we sell in pairs, so the factory actually already pair up them before they're giving out to us. Yeah, so each pair will be auto pairing up after you power it on. We have this remote maintenance. We have this remote maintenance. Okay, remote maintenance using the Ruijie cloud. So as I mentioned just now. Okay, so this is EST310. So this is the EST350, another model. Yeah, 5 is stand for the 5 kilometers. Just now it's 10, so now it's 5 kilometers. 2 gigabit ports. Yeah, it's 2 gigabit ports. Okay, and this is 15 dBi, so can go further. This is the 5 kilometers. And this is the angles, 31 for horizontal and vertical for 14 degrees. Okay. Yeah, and same, this is the hardware specifications. We have this light indicator to show whether this is a good signal plan. And then we have this 2 gigabit port, as I said just now, and then it's able to power up using a 12 volt DC as well. Okay, and then we have this reset pin hole. Yeah, so because as we sell it in the past, so actually the Ruijie have a very user friendly. They already labeled it using like the recorder end or camera end. Yeah, so it's like easier for those SI. Yeah, to know which device is trying. So here I just showing up some of the indicators. Yeah, bridging. If bridging is bridging, and then if a second light, and then the third light is a full bar, it means that it is a very good signal. Okay, so it has a long range. So as I said just now, it's able to deploy it for the 5 kilometers. So maybe some of them will concern about the CCTV because we are mostly our customers in CCTV contact. So we're concerned about like how many cameras can one pair of wireless bridge. So based on here, we based on the models on the 2 megapixels and then 2 megapixels and #265 plus #265. Yeah, so we based on this, you know that if within the 3 kilometers, so it can bring around 45 units. Yeah, so we have different kind of mode to deploy the wireless bridge. So for the first is like the mode 1 back to back. So it means that we have this switch over here, and then this is the cameras to link to a wireless bridge, and then this wireless bridge will connect a physically cables to this, and then it will pass back the signal to the wireless bridge like another pair. This is one, we call it the back-to-back mode, and then the second, like the direct connect to the cameras. Yeah, this I think is very common. Yeah, so camera connect to this wireless bridge, and then we pass it back to the side and the other side, and then the mode 3 connect to a switch. Yeah, so this is same as like a mode 1, it's just that we don't have a back-to-back wireless switch. Yeah, so from the wireless bridge connect to a switch, and then our switch will connect to our cameras, and then the opposite side will have this wireless bridge to connect to NVR. Okay, so these are some of the deploy mode. Yeah, so this is very reliable, and this is convenient to pairing up there. It's a fine place. So as I said just now, they are come in pairs. So as long as you power up them, so actually they will auto to find each other and then pairing up. Yeah, so for those who want to do any configurations, yeah, so I think this is a very good solution for you guys. So this is a tower crane. Yeah, so as I said just now, so we will have, because in like Singapore they have many construction sites, and there's a government requirement that every tower crane will be required to have a CCTV to check all the areas, to scan all the areas. So for the blind areas, which is able to cause safety accidents, so requires CCTV. And then the next point is that because the crane tower is always moving, so actually we unable to lay a physical cables because it might break the cables when they're moving. Yeah, so that's why we come up with this wireless switch. Yeah, and also the compressed environment in building sites and ports is not suitable for cabling. Yeah, so the next is a transportation. So just now I said, because the transportation, you need to deploy the CCTV in a long distance, and the cameras may be like 1 kilometers away from each other. Then it's really hard to do the cabling, and then it's really hard to do our maintenance as well. Okay, so and also the factory campus, as I mentioned, factory campus, and sometimes in like factory they will require like the barcode scanners and the CCTV data need to transmit to the center from the warehouse. Yeah, so you can use this wireless switch to transmit the signal as well. The signal area is like maybe it's far from city, so we need to have this wireless switch to transmit the signal over to there. And also maybe the areas environment is not very good. Yeah, so it's a complicated also, so not suitable to lay cables as well. Yeah, so here I just will compare between 300 and 350. Yeah, so 300 and 350, just the first is the distance. So I mentioned the 1 kilometers and 5 kilometers. And the second is a fixed port. One is a 100 meg, only one. And also the 5350 have this gigabit port, which is 2. Yeah, so these are the two main difference between them. So this is one of the success case in Malaysia. And also in Thailand as well, we'll deploy this 350 and in the 2.37 km. This is one of the success case as well. And then this is in Thailand as well. In Thailand, around 3 kilometers, no problem. So the next series I'm going to intro is this AirMetro series. AirMetro series is a new model for this wireless switch. So I'll explain more. What is the difference between this AirMetro and also the ESC? So for the AirMetro, actually we come in 3 components. So and all of them need to purchase separately. So the first item is a base station. So you will require a base station for each of your antennas. So we have 360 degrees. Yeah. So just now you guys mentioned our this ESC series only have like 60 degrees, 30 degrees in a quite small degrees of coverage. Yeah, so now we can come up with this different kind of degrees. So we should is 360, 360 degrees, 120, and also 90 degrees. Okay, so have a large coverage. So 360 degrees, but the distance is only 2 kilometers, 2 kilometers, and for 120 is 5 kilometers, and the 90 degrees is 10 kilometers. Okay, so this is the antennas. So we have this third component, which is the E. We can know it as like in the receiver side. So we have these 2 models, AirMetro 460G and also 460F. So the difference between them is actually on the port. So one is gigabit, G for gigabit, and F for fast Ethernet. So only the 100 meg. Yeah, so it's based on your end devices, so you can choose either one. Okay. So but you can see here, why it means that there's a 15 kilometers, but here only the antennas only go up to 10 kilometers for 90 degrees. But why here you got down like 15 kilometers? Yeah, so for this 15 kilometers is only applicable for those you are using this CPE bridge. You can like we call it a walk. You use this P2, both walk as a P2P, so one walk to another walk. If you are deployed it using our antenna, so the maximum distance you need to take based on the antennas. Okay, yeah, so we have 3 components for this AirMetro series. The base station is a must. Okay, and then the antennas you choose 3 out of 1, and then the CPE you can choose 1 out of 2. And then the difference that we have this AirMetro series is able to connect up to 32. So just now for our EST series, the maximum is only go 1 to 3. So some cases customer request we need to have more. So we have this can propose this station. This base station and antennas can go up to 1 to 32. So here are just some of the spec that we have. Okay, so just briefly go through. So you guys can get this spec through the Ruijie website as well. So the application scenario actually is the same as just now I mentioned about. We have this WIFC, like provide internet access for some rural areas. Or we can use it in our outdoor CCTV. So mostly in Singapore, we will use for CCTV. Yeah, so this one is the one I mentioned just now. If you are deploying using this, you can have 2 point to multiple point. If you are using like PTP, so it's like this walk to another walk, so the distance is 15 kilometers. But this one is only able to have 1 to 1. Okay, so just to take note on this. Yeah, so this is we have this. Just now I mentioned we have this 360 degrees of the antennas. So from 360 degrees, this CPE be able to point back to this transmitter. In this kind of scenario, we have these 3 stages. Normally we deploy this wireless, we have these 3 stages: the pre-state, installation, and also the post-state. Yeah, so before we install, we need to go to survey, right? Because this is a very long distance, so we need to do some survey. Yeah, so it's very time consuming. They will need to have these tools to do some professional reports. And the second stage will be installations. So we need to align between two, the antennas and also the CPE side. We need to align them. So and the next, we need to do the optimization. Yeah, so we need to adjust the power, adjust the channel. As you guys can see from here, from this picture, you guys can see so many CPE are installed. Yeah, so to avoid interference, so each of them will need to require in different channels. They cannot be in the same channels. So the next is a post stage. So after we complete the installation, we'll need to do some project delivery. Yeah, so we scared about the unstable performance because normally if you install this wireless bridge, the area will be like super remote. It's a super rural. So if you then need to drive there, it's going to take some time. It's a waste of cost. Yeah, so we will scared about the unstable performance. And then we need to scared about the maintenance as well. It's a better cost-effective choice for this kind of solution. You will require to do some site survey, right, before you're able to deploy the wireless bridge. Yeah. So, but if you are in a very long distance, how you can do a proper site survey? We have this site survey tool, AI heat map. Yeah. So maybe I can try to play, so you guys can see from here. So Ruijie themselves already cooperated with Google Map. Yeah, so this is the Google Map, and then you guys can see you can just draw directly on the map itself. And then the green side is means that this is able to have coverage. Yeah, for those who don't have green side, it means that the coverage is not good. Yeah. So why does it not good? So later on it will show up. Yeah. So maybe it's because of there's mountains, there's altitude difference between them. So you guys can see. So we cooperate with Google Maps. So from Google Maps, we know that all the distance. So you guys can see from here. So we know the altitude as well. Yeah. So if this is free, this is totally free AI heat map, and this is already available on our Ruijie Cloud. So if you are interested, you guys later on can go and have a try on this. It's just under the Ruijie AI heat map. Okay. So we have this alignment tool for you guys to do this. And so for the next, you have this fraction scan and also link optimization all at once. Yeah, because as we just now mentioned, it will be able to scan whether there is signals just around this wireless bridge, and this will auto adjust you to the correct signal. So the channel that not much of people utilize it. Yeah, so we have a full bar group. Yeah, so it will have an automatic the channel and optimizations recommended and reduce the error in selecting. EST310 and also EST350. So this is a 1 kilometers and 5 kilometers wireless bridge, and then it's able to connect up to 1 to 3 and also 1 to 5 only. Yeah, so in CCTV scenario we might need to have more. Yeah, so we can use 1 to up more than 5 lakh. So this is our maximum go to 1 to 32. So you might need to upgrade to this AirMetro series. Yeah, so for AirMetro series we have three different angles, 360, 120 and also 60 degrees. And then we have this CPE. Okay, so normally because for CCTV, so we might have more than 5 points, because in this kind of public big areas might have more than 5 points of CCTV, and then this is a longer distance, and also need to have a wider range. Same. So in CCTV scenario, we also are able to help you to solve the trouble in pre-stage installation and also the post-stage. So for pre-stage, yeah, so before that we might need to deploy like point-to-point only. Yeah, so for now we have this kind of scenario, we can deploy it in a point-to-multiple point for multiple of CCTV. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but for this, we are selling individually. Yeah, but we still need to help you guys to save the time for the configuration. Yeah, so we have this one press pairing. We have this one press pairing in 30 seconds. So there's a button behind this base station. You just need to click one time. It will help you to auto pair up all the CPE through this antenna. So, and also we have all this alignment too. Yeah, so it's similar with just now I introduced to you guys for this alignment tool and our spectrum scan, whether there's interference, and also we have used our cloud to do some monitoring and configuration as well. Basically, that's all for the sharing for the wireless bridge for today. Yeah, so for the first, just now I mentioned, we have this EST series. And then the second is the AirMetro series. Thank you everyone for joining our workshop today. I will see you guys in my next workshop. Thank you.
VISKOU.